This is the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. We have assembled the world's finest sports and trivia dorks to prove once and for all that we are just as bad at this as we were at sports.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, sports trivia for those of us who rode the pine. This is episode, I'm guessing, 285. Anybody?
Yep, that's it.
Nice. Nailed it. Sometimes I know what I'm doing. Confidence. All right. I'm your host, Eric Eid. Today's game, we'll be having an all Benchwarmers affair. It'll be Scott and Mason versus Walling Josh. Love that name. Welcome back, Walling.
Hi.
Actually, welcome back to me. I haven't been on in a while, so yeah, welcome back to me. Anyway, Walling, Josh, how you guys doing?
Doing fine. I guess differently than the Erics here. I also hate my team, but they seem to be winning, so I guess there's that. But I don't enjoy watching them, if that means much. But I think there's a lot of people probably who have the same sentiment. So, but yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, I had 30 people at my house yesterday and smoked a 25-pound turkey for 7 hours. It was glorious, and I have a lot of turkey left. So I'll be eating turkey for 7 straight days. If you need me, I will be in a turkey coma, roughly Saturday.
All right, that math doesn't add up. 30 people, 25-pound turkey. Who wasn't eating?
So we also had like an 8-pound ham, and a lot of those 30 were kids.
Yeah, fine. I'll allow it.
Yeah, we had a lot of sides too. Somebody brought the Texas Roadhouse rolls. Clutch move, nice. By the way. That is a pick to click for your holiday gathering, is get yourself some Texas Roadhouse rolls.
Nice.
Yeah, Josh and I were bonding over shared misery today. Neither of us were happy with the outcomes of our game for different reasons. And so ours being Josh because they blew a lead and won in overtime, me because they won. And so we decided to lean into it a little bit, and we were going to be snatching victory from the jaws of a tie.
Yeah, seriously. Cowboys, like, the second, I don't know which team you're talking about, because the Chiefs almost lost to the...
That's all. They also fit this. That's why it's perfect. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this should be, that happened. Oh, all right. Like 18 field goals. Cool. All right. All right, let's throw this over to Scott and Mason, and let me know what your team name is after you're all done there.
Yeah, well, my team did really great this week. They were on bye, so they didn't lose. Although I want them losing, so I guess that's a loss then, technically, because they didn't lose. Is that how that works? Sure. Otherwise, I'm doing fine. Luckily, we're recording this the week before Thanksgiving, the week up Thanksgiving, I guess, how that works. So I'm off, so it's a nice break before the last end of semester push that happens. And kids begging for bonus points that they don't deserve. So, anyway.
Yeah, I'm also good. I am coming off of a softball championship. We just won the championship last week. 16 playoff, we were the 6th seed. So we took down the 1, 2, and 3 seed. Well, I guess backwards. We took down the 3 seed, the 2 seed, and the 1 seed en route to an underdog championship. So that felt nice. So I'm feeling like a champion, which is cool. And that's all I've been thinking about, so much so that I couldn't even come up with a team name with Mason. So tonight we're going to be no team name.
Walling special.
Mason, I had some really boring team names cooked up for us if we were playing together today, but I was excited.
I feel like we've done something similar to no team name. We did like generic trivia team name.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we ever did no team name.
All right. Well, let's throw it over to this guy named Dan who doesn't show up anymore. He's got rules.
The game will consist of 4 quarters of play, each with different trivia style. The styles of quarters 1 through 3 will change from show to show, and I will explain them as we go along. Like any good sporting event, we will have a halftime show after the second quarter with entertainment questions. And in the fourth quarter, our teams will wager from their points accumulated to see who are today's clipboard captains, to be honored like the true benchwarmers they are. All right, let's get this game underway.
All right, today's first quarter. Anybody? Flop, turn, river.
Flop, turn, and river. For this quarter, there will be 3 questions consisting of 5 clues. The first 3 clues will be given before the teams decide if they want to check in with their guests. The last 2 clues will be given one at a time, with teams deciding if they want to check in with their guests after each subsequent clue. If a correct answer is checked in after the first 3 clues, the team will receive 50 points. After the 4th clue, 30, and after the 5th clue, 20.
All right. Well, today it's back. It's the same name, Flop Turn River. I will be looking for the last name that all these players share, and I will not be using Smith or Johnson, so don't think that's an option. And keep in mind, the first 3 names may share a last name, but not necessarily the turn or the river. So if you're going to guess, be confident.
Oh, boy.
All right. Question 1, the flop. I have Derek, Sean, and Courtney.
Hey, we're going to check in.
All right. No team name is checked in, and snatching the victory from the jaws of a tie. Talk it out.
I don't think we have much to talk out. I don't think either of us have put those 3 names together. I don't have anything that absolutely links those 3.
Yeah, me either. I'm good with taking another.
All right, let's take another.
So let's go to the turn. And for the turn, I don't know if this is going to help anybody. The name is Anders.
I mean, that's the only one I can think of is Carlson, but does that work for Derek,
Sean Carlson, Courtney Carlson,
and Courtney?
No, it doesn't.
Isn't there an Anders Lee in like the NHL or something?
I think I've heard that name before.
That's a name that just is there. It's in, there aren't many Anders that I can think of. So Sean Lee, Derek Lee, Courtney Lee.
Yeah, I think there's a Courtney Lee. That's a basketball player, right?
There's a Derek Lee.
There's definitely Derek Lee.
I'm guessing there must be a Sean Lee probably somewhere.
There's a Chun Lee. Maybe the next is the last one, Chun. I like it. It fits.
What other Anders is there? Those are the 2 that we've named. I think are the only 2 I know.
And of the 2, Lee is the only one that we can name other athletes with.
Correct.
So I'm good with that if you're good with that.
Yeah. So we'll check in with Lee.
Okay, and let's go over to no team name. What did you guys check in with after the flop there?
Well, no team name is probably going to have no points after this, as predicted. I'm not going to say we. I saw Courtney, Sean, and Derek, and I thought to myself, there are 2 first-round draft busts in there. Derek Alexander, an NBA draft bust, Courtney Alexander, and Sean Alexander is a thing, so we checked in with Alexander.
Hope there's an Anders Alexander out there somewhere. It'd be a great pre and post name. Anders Alexander. It just goes on forever.
So as I stated at the start of the question, the first 3 might have multiple same last names, but there is, as far as I know, only one person with the river. And can anybody guess what the river will be, knowing that the correct answer is Lee?
Chun.
Sean does make sense.
So the river is Amp.
Amp Alexander? I don't know. That sounds
Alexander.
Old-timey baseball guy.
Probably. There probably is. If there is, write to me. But yes, there's Sean Lee, which is Penn State legend, linebacker, Cowboys injured legend.
Yes.
Courtney Lee, Magic legend. Is one season enough to be a legend? No?
Sure.
Is it? All right. And then Derek Lee, first baseman, was at Cubs most notably. And then we have Anders Lee, Islanders. I think that's where he still is. And then Amp Lee, which is one of my favorite running backs from like the 90s. Anyway. All right. Let's move on to question number 2 for the flop. Oh, there he is again. There's Derek. But now we have Derek, Charlie, and Jimmy.
We'll take another.
All right. And the jaws of a tie. What are you doing?
Do we want to go for it, or do we want to take another?
I'm fine going for it since we...
I mean, they swung and missed on the first, so worst case is...
Yeah, we just get
we're
back.
In the same place
Yeah.
if they get it on the turn.
Yeah, sure. What the heck?
All right.
They're all made up points.
Yeah,
for
that is absolutely true. I think I cared a lot more about this when we first started. I just don't. I mean, I care about our listeners and all that,
Yeah.
but winning and losing, whatever. We'll check in.
All right. So, snatching the victory from the jaws of a tie has checked in. So from here on out, no team name can talk it out. So what we have here for the turn is Cam.
Okay, I think I got it. It's got to be Ward, right? Derek Ward, Charlie Ward, Jimmy Ward, Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward. Jimmy Ward had a pick six today.
Yep.
Derek Ward was that three-headed running back with the Giants.
Yeah, 3 heads. That seems illegal.
No, that's fine in football. You just can't have like more than 2 legs.
Okay,
That would be unfair.
got it.
If it is Ward, I want to guess the river is Charvarius.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Or I will take that and I will raise you a Diedrich, and we'll see which one it is. But you're good with Ward, right? I mean,
Yeah. Or Hines. There's a lot of options out there.
I
so,
just
yeah.
said I'm a Cam Ward guy right before Eid was on this recording.
That's
so,
funny. It'd be funny if it is that. So yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna check in with Ward.
Okay. And let's go over to snatching the victory from the jaws of a tie. What was your check-in after the first, or the flop, I guess?
Well, initially I was trying to go through Charlie's, and Huff didn't quite work because I don't think you would have dance choreographer Derek Huff as one of your
You were there too.
as one
You
of
were
your
there too. I promise.
athletes. But then I got the Ward, and I was like, oh, that works for Derek and for Jimmy. And then Eric, Mr. Walling there, he actually thought Cam would be probably a good turn. And I think we were initially banking on Hines as the river. So we also checked in with Ward.
All right. Well, the river. I'm sorry I had to do it, but I also used Cam. Derek, Charlie, Jimmy, Cam, and also Cam, because there's 2 Cam Wards. NHL goaltender Cam Ward, Stanley Cup champion, and Miami Hurricanes quarterback Cam Ward. So yes, both teams getting their points here. The correct answer is Ward. All right, let's move on to question number 3. And for the flop, I have Justin, Michael, and Evan.
No Derek for this one, huh?
No Derek. Oh God, there could have been a Derek.
We'll check in.
All right, no team names checked in. So snatching the victory from the jaws of a tie. What's your decision here?
I mean, I can't think, I don't have another one that fits right now other than your Turner.
Right.
Because I was trying to think of Evans, right? Because Evans can be the one
Yeah.
that has the least amount of those. It's like Mobley. I don't know what Justin and Michael Mobley's. Evan White. So Justin White, Michael White, Longoria. I don't think
Nope,
there's a
no
whole lot of
Longorias.
Longorias.
And no Ingrams. So
I mean, if you want to take another one just to solidify it, I'm fine with that because at the moment we are up 50 points, so we can,
sure, what the heck. Let's take another one just to be sure.
we'll take another one.
All right, so the turn, I have Trey.
Yep. Okay. Well, then that seals it. Turner. We'll check that in.
All right. And then over to no team name. What did you guys check in with after the flop?
Yeah, we both decided that we'd go with the one that made the most sense with Evan. We didn't feel comfortable that there was anyone else with the last name Eschmeyer. So we didn't go with that. But Turner seemed to fit everything else, so we also checked in with Turner.
All right. And any guesses on what the river might be?
And Dallas and Miles.
Okay. And Josh and Walling.
Tina.
Tina.
I know she's not she's sort of an athlete. Have you seen those calves?
Walling, you going with Ike?
Yeah, I was going to say Ike. That was my other guess. He was a boxer.
Yikes.
I think the time is far enough.
Is it? All right. Well,
Yeah.
the river, no one guessed it. The river I have is Norv. So yes, the correct
Norv.
answer is
Yeah,
Turner.
Norv.
Both teams getting their points. All right. So after the first quarter, we have no team name with 80 points and snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. They have 110.
We wanted to let you know that we are on Patreon if you'd be interested in supporting us financially. Your contributions will be used to help us cover the costs that it takes to bring you the high-quality sports trivia you have come to expect from us. There's also some great perks that come with the Patreon membership to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast, including bonus episodes and Benchwarmers swag. You can find us at patreon.com/benchwarmerstp. Thanks.
That brings us to today's second quarter, and today's second quarter will be pre- and post-game.
Pre- and post-game. For this quarter, there will be 4 before and after style questions. For example, if I said, what all-time leader in receptions for the Indianapolis Colts was a Notre Dame safety drafted by the Minnesota Vikings? The answer would be Marvin Harrison Smith. Each question is worth 25 points.
Today's pre- and post-game is a special one. The first part of each one of these questions is a major winner in golf. Question number 1 in today's pre- and post-game. American golfer who has won the U.S. Open 3 times, 2 in the 70s, 1 in the 90s, and it was Mike Rotunda Jr.'s full professional wrestling ring name that he was best known for. You may think of him every April.
We can check in.
All right. Snatching Victory is checked in. No team name. Talk it out.
This was perfect for us. It's a golf and a wrestling question. I mean, it hit both of our wheelhouses perfectly.
We worked back to front on this one.
Yeah, because Mike Rotunda Jr.'s IRS, which is why I think of him every April, and his full name is Erwin R. Shyster. So I gave you that, and then you finished it. So check it in.
Yeah, that's the first part has to be Hale Irwin. I was trying to remember what his name was, but luckily you had the second half. So yeah, we're gonna go with Hale Irwin R. Shyster. Is that how you pronounce it? Sure. I don't know who that is.
That is.
Okay.
Yes.
Good enough.
And over to Snatching Victory from the Jaws of a Tie.
Yeah, the clue about remembering him in April gave me my most favorite absurd wrestling name maybe of all time, other than Doink, which is I worked back to front. Hale Irwin R. Shyster. Checked in.
The most ridiculous wrestling name of all time is Isaac Yankem. Okay. All right. Both teams getting their points here. Yes. That worked out perfectly for Scott and Mason. Yet you didn't check in first. I'm just saying. Anyway.
We were checking in. I didn't want to interrupt Walling because I've done that too many times already.
I'm not going to scold you this time.
All right. Yes. The correct answer is Hale Irwin R. Shyster. And fun fact, Hale Irwin still alive.
Not anymore.
I was going to say,
I haven't done that in a while. Let's see what happens. Right?
I mean,
right before Thanksgiving too. Yikes.
Yeah, you know who else is still alive? Jerry Jones.
Oh,
try it.
Skip
Bayless.
Bayless.
Yeah, we'll try it.
I hate to ask this because you never know with wrestlers, but is
Yes.
Erwin R. Shyster still alive?
His son
Yes.
is not. One of his sons is not, unfortunately, but he
Oh
is.
yeah,
Yes.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bray just died. Yeah, remember?
Yep.
That's right.
Anyway. All right. Question number 2, pre and post game. American golfer and 2-time Masters champion with a bearish nickname, and is the 5th all-time leading scorer for the Supersonics, not counting the Thunder.
Yes, we'll check in.
All right, no team name has checked in. Snatching the Victory from the Jaws of a Tie. You guys can discuss.
Ben Crenshaw and Kemp.
Yeah, because I was trying to think. Sean Kemp has to be probably around that
Right.
5th, 4th, 5th, 6th. So I was thinking, all right, something to go with Sean, and then Ben Crenshaw popped in my brain, and if you can confirm he's 1 too.
Yes, but I don't get the bearish nickname hint because they thought his nickname was like Gentle Ben or something.
Gentle Ben was a bear.
Oh, okay.
Or
Look
was
at
was a guy who was lived with the bears. One of the two. I can't remember specifically.
That's a bear adjacent nickname.
That is
then.
bear-ish. So Gentle Ben
Fair.
is a bear-ish nickname.
Okay. All right. Well,
And that makes it even more so then. Yeah, so we will check in with Ben Crenshaw Kemp. What a
Right,
weird-
and no team name.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This guy lived with bears?
out in the wilderness.
You'll have to explain that to me off.
Have you
off-
seen
go
Grizzly
ahead.
Man?
All right, what's your answer?
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I got it from the front part. Because It's as I was alluding to that the other definition of bearish would be like stock market stuff. And I couldn't think of a golfer that had anything to do with the stock market. So got rid of that pretty quickly. Yeah, I remembered Gentle Ben Crenshaw, and then we got the rest of it. So yeah, we checked in with Ben Crenshaw Kemp.
All right, both teams getting their points here. Yes, the correct answer is Ben Crenshaw Kemp. I don't even know what it is. And yes, the Bears nickname Gentle Ben. I believe Gentle Ben was the actual bear. It's a book / TV show / probably going to be a movie soon. If not, somebody's going to do it now that I just said it out loud. Except Ben will be like not a bear anymore. It'll be something different. Anyway,
I prefer Ted.
it's Cocaine Bear is loosely based off Gentle Ben.
Was he gentle? I'm not sure he was. I don't
Listen,
think he was gentle.
Cool Runnings is literally based off of the Jamaican bobsled team. The only thing that was correct in that movie was that
from
there was
Jamaica, and were they a bobsled team?
That was it. Was it a bear? And was there cocaine? Yes.
No. Was he gentle?
Before the cocaine?
Yeah, I was gonna say he was gentle without the cocaine in the book.
Right?
All right.
I can't. I have no difference between Gentle Ben and Cocaine Bear. That's same.
Maybe that is what Gentle Ben grew up to be. Was
there? It
Cocaine
is.
Bear. When he got into his 30s, he was like,
It's like
Former child star.
Miley Cyrus phase.
Question 3: 2010 PGA Player of the Year with the record for the lowest score in a PGA Tour history, shooting a 58 in 2016. And was the first pick in the 2002 NHL draft. He is the leading scorer in Blue Jackets history, leading goal scorer in Blue Jackets history.
I know who it is.
Okay.
And he knows that I know who this is on the hockey side. So
All
we
right.
are
Yeah.
checked in.
All right. No team name has checked in. Snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. You guys can talk it out now.
Pretty sure that the first part is Jim Furyk.
then it would be Rick Nash. Then
Okay.
Jim Furyk, Rick Nash.
All right. And no team name?
Jim Furyk right away. I remember that pretty vividly. And then I let Scott do his thing with hockey, and with one of his 6 names apparently on the list.
I have more than 6 names, but Ede knows I've said many times on this podcast, my favorite hockey player is Rick Nash, and he's the only Blue Jackets player I could name, so it had to be Rick Nash. You could have said any golfer, and I would have said Rick Nash in the second half, even if it didn't fit. So that's what was coming. So
Tiger Woods, Rick Nash.
Yeah, so thankfully it did. We checked. Phil Mickelson, Rick Nash. Yeah, we checked in with Jim Furyk Nash.
All right, both teams getting their points. Yes, the correct answer is Jim Furyk Nash. And yeah, Rick Nash was one of my favorite Blue Jackets as he came up. I was always hoping at the end when there was always talks of him being traded. And it was always the Rangers, and eventually he did go there, so sadly. All right, let's move on to question number 4. American golfer whose only major win came in 1990 at the 1995 U.S. Open, with the highest golf ranking coming in 1996 when he would get to number 2, and an all-time great wide receiver playing for the Chargers and Bucks, who sadly passed away in 2021 at the age of 38.
All right. Check in.
All right, snacking a victory. It's checked in. No team name, talk it out.
So we've got Vincent Jackson
Yeah.
as the second half. So
Trying
we're
to
looking
think.
for a last name Vin, potentially, or just Vincent. But it could also just be Vin, right? So you could be looking at like a last name of like Marvin or Calvin or something along those lines.
Yes. It is something along those lines.
Percy Harvin? No, he wasn't a golfer back 95, 96.
Okay, so a name came to mind. I just know the name. It's Corey Pavin.
That's a name.
Yeah, it is a name. You don't have to. Your teammates. You're fine.
That is someone that I've heard of. So yeah,
And I'm pretty sure he's a '90s guy.
let's just do it then.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else unless this is rock and roll legend Gene Vincent. I don't think anyone on this podcast knows who that is. David's listening. He probably played with him. He probably played with him back in the day.
I'm sorry. Wait. David played what? Harmonica? What the hell was David playing? back
Triangle.
then?
The recorder.
Electric Triangle.
Electric triangle.
No, he was probably on tambourine. David was on the
They had
tambourine.
Well, it was an electric triangle, but they had a crank to run at the
Who's a crank? I'm running immediately to ChatGPT and getting this image generated.
Who has David from Secret Santa? We know what we're getting him.
An electric triangle.
With a crank.
Go with the crank.
He already has it. Why would you get him something he already has?
This probably
Oh,
doesn't work anymore. It's a
No,
new one.
no,
Was it the-
yeah. David lost his in the 70s when he was doing
He's
cocaine
one
with
with
the bear.
He
With the
needs one with a new
Gentle
dongle.
Ben. Josh and Walling, what was your answer?
Yeah, America's foremost expert in baggy pleated khakis and mustaches on a golf course, Corey Pavin and the late great Vincent Jackson.
So yes, we are also checking with Corey Pay Vincent.
Hey, Vincent Jackson.
Yes, there
This
you
is-
go.
Forget
this
the
is how this
Maxwell
works.
letters.
Hey, Vincent
Yeah,
Jackson.
my bad.
Walling's
Like,
new here.
just
It's
pay him
okay.
his money.
It's fine.
Might as well. Corey, if you owe him the money, just pay it.
I can guess however many times I want, right? That's how this works.
Right. Both teams getting their points here. Yes, the correct answer is Corey Pay Vincent Jackson. Don't pay him anymore because it won't go to him. Unfortunately, it'll go somewhere else. So, flavor text for this one. If you type in Corey Pavin into Google, guess what? People also ask, did Corey Pavin ever win a major? How far did Corey Pavin hit his driver? Is Corey Pavin in the Hall of Fame? And the last one, is Matthew Pavin related to Corey Pavin?
Oh, there wasn't a who is Corey Pavin.
No.
No?
Who's
Okay.
Matthew Pavin?
I thought Corey Pavin was one of the Coreys, like with Corey Feldman and all those guys running around in the 90s. So
Corey Haim. Corey
Yeah.
Pavin was in there with him.
I thought, well, I Nathan said he's a 90s guy. I went, oh, one of those Coreys.
All right. So after the second quarter, we have a score of no team name with 180 and snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. They remain in the lead. They have 210. And that brings us to halftime.
It is now time for the halftime show. There will be 3 entertainment questions. Each question is worth 25 points.
Sorry, folks. No Weird Al today.
Aw.
But it is time for Finish the Lyrics. So I'm going to give you lyrics for from a well-known song, and I'll tell you the number of lyric or words I need to finish the lyric. You just finish the lyrics, and bonus points for singing. I don't know how many points, but maybe a couple. I don't know.
This is when I called Dan and
Walling, do you
This is gonna be
karaoke?
mustard. Sorry.
And I will keep this semi-sports related. So I went back through and I chose 3 songs that have been performed during a Super Bowl halftime show. All righty. So question 1, I'm looking for 3 words. These are all fairly easy. So, all right. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts.
he,
And thank you. I was waiting for that. And mother always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do, because the lie, blank, blank, blank.
Mason,
Yeah.
it's I'm sure
Yeah.
you know that. We're checked in.
All right. No team names checked in. Snatching victory. Talk it out.
Oh, God.
That's the beginning of like a virgin you were doing right there.
Yeah, it is. It's
Or
the
like a
same.
surgeon.
It's the exact same. Yeah, I was just trying to jog Josh's brain. It's like throwing some Weird Al beats in. It ended
Yeah,
on lie.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
just trying to.
Becomes the truth. That's it. Because the
Oh,
lie
like
becomes
he's
the truth.
in there.
Yep.
Oh,
I agree.
put him.
I agree.
That's why I was waiting
Okay.
for it.
All right, becomes the truth. Checking in.
All right. And no team name.
We have the same answer of becomes the truth. Hey, hey,
I thought we're supposed to sing it. Scott, sing it.
be careful what you do, because the lie becomes the truth. Hey, hey.
There you go.
I give you
Both
5
teams getting their
words,
points.
Actually,
We don't count the parenthesis words. Those are just background vocals. Yes, both teams getting points. The correct answer is becomes the truth, and that's from Billie Jean from Michael Jackson's Super Bowl 27 halftime show. He also performed Black or White, Heal the World, and We Are the World. All right, question number 2 in halftime. Motown Philly's back again, doing a little East Coast swing. Boys to Men going off, and I will need 6 words to finish this lyric.
I got it, Mason. All right, we will check in.
All right, no team names checked in. Snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. Talk it out.
Oh, wait.
I can name that tune in 3 notes. I'm sorry, wrong for me.
Sing it, Walling.
Yeah. Not too hard, not too soft. Yep, I think that's...
Actually,
Is that legitimate enough or legible enough to count? Not too
writing
hard,
it
not
down?
too soft.
There you go. Is that what you're going with? Good?
Yes. Not
All
too hard,
right.
not too soft.
No team name.
dum 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 da da, dum 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 da da, da yeah. Yeah, not too hard, not too soft.
All right. Both teams getting their points here. Yes, it is not too hard, not too soft. I stopped typing flavor text for this one because I was watching the Christmas episode of Fresh Prince where Boyce Spence sing at the christening, and it just I never came back to it after it happened. So I just they were on a Fresh Prince episode. Here we go. Question 3 at halftime. I'm going to need 4 words. Honey, I know. Times are changing. It's time we all reach out for something new, and that means you too. You say you want a leader, but you can't seem to make up your mind. And I think you better close it and let me guide you.
Okay, we'll check in.
All right, no team names checked in. Jaws of a tie.
You know what? I got it.
Go for it.
It's Purple
I
Rain.
wanted. I was gonna.
Prince.
Yeah, I'm
So-
pretty sure this is part of your Minnesota citizenship test.
Yes, even
so-
though I'm not a huge Prince fan, I have to recognize his genius and be aware of him and his songs. So I do believe, let me guide you to the purple rain. Purple rain.
Purple rain. Come on, everybody.
It's not as good. I'm not outside in Miami with rain
Purple.
coming down on me.
Playing a
Sorry.
guitar very
That's about the
phallically.
only singing you'll hear me do. And if I don't get bonus points, I'm burning this whole podcast to the ground.
Oh,
Josh,
jeez.
you get
Wow.
1 bonus point, but Walling, you lose 1 bonus point. So
Oh, wow.
Sorry,
Net
Josh.
0.
Didn't mean to ruin it.
Mason, do that math. How's that work out?
Yes, that's a 0.
That's 0. All right, 0 points. All right, nothing.
Add that to your 25-pound turkey calculus question.
Yeah.
Right.
If Walling and Josh get 0 bonus points,
How many pounds of turkey does it take
How
to
many
feed 30
pounds
people?
Oh, all right. And over to you guys didn't give your answer yet. No team name.
yeah. I think the intonation was a little bit off from that part of the song because he goes like to the purple rain, and then it
Oh.
launches him into
Oh,
him like
That's a
by
bonus
register.
point.
I'm not.
He didn't
Come
say
on.
I had to have the proper intonation. He
No,
just
but
said
I
sing
sang,
it.
and that's not a thing that happens.
You know
on
what?
this podcast.
You know what,
So
Mason?
I feel like that's deserving bonus points.
all right. I will. You know what? I'm going to take the bonus points that I gave Josh and Walling, and I'm going to multiply that by 10 and give that right over to you.
All right.
So that's
Awesome.
10 times 0 is all right. All right. Bonus
Yeah,
points
awesome.
for everybody.
So
this
much for
round.
bonus
So,
points.
so,
All
so
right,
you
we all get
just
zeros.
manipulated us to sing, even though you weren't going to give us bonus points. That
I
was the
don't need
whole
to be
point.
manipulated. So
There you go.
All right.
Jordan
adding,
Sparks hasn't done a halftime show, so
Oh, that would be great.
Felipe has.
I'm adding these into our spreadsheet here that I'm keeping track of as well. 0 bonus points and 0 bonus
Yeah.
points. Okay.
Mine was
Episode
already in there.
title, 0
Mine already had a 0 in that box.
Hey,
so I'm
we,
gonna have to change
we both
it.
earned them. I want to make sure it reflects it in the
Yeah.
spreadsheet that we earned those 0 bonus points.
they're
just
meaningless. but
giving
we
out.
earned them.
All right. So after halftime, we have a score of no team name 255, snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. Still in the lead 285. Anybody want to guess? No? All right. Now on to the second half. Today's third quarter. Oh my God. Today's third quarter will be. Now I'm going to let you guys guess. Everybody? No?
Missing link.
Lucky number 11.
I also
Sporting
think it's missing
IQs.
link.
Sport. So today's third quarter will be let it ride or throw in the towel.
Let it ride or throw in the towel. For this quarter, there will be 4 questions in a given category that increase in difficulty. After each question, teams can decide to let it ride and attempt the next question, or throw in the towel and take the points they have accumulated to that point. Each question is worth 50 points. If a team answers incorrectly, they will lose half of their points accumulated in the quarter.
90s edition.
From the mind of Eric Heed on what is easy and what is hard. Okay.
boy.
This is the old running back edition of Let It Ride or Throw in the Towel. So each answer is a running back from the 90s who finished a season in the top 10 for rushing yards in the 90s.
Oh boy.
Okay, good. Josh, we only need to remember the top 10 running backs for an entire decade every year.
For each year, and
for
we
each
only
year,
need 100 names. Well, not
These
quite.
aren't
Some will be
bad.
multiple-
These are easy.
Some will be multiplied.
Mason, you want to throw in the towel now, or
All right, guys.
I don't wanna
Emmett
lose
Smith,
points.
and then we'll just be over with this round.
Oh, God. All right, question for one. Yikes. All right, I thought this would go over better. All right, this running back ranks number 9 on the Steelers' all-time rushing list, playing just 5 seasons. His best season was in 1992, rushing for over 1,600 yards.
good luck, Mason. My Steelers running back knowledge starts at Jerome Bettis.
Come on. I made this. I thought this was the easiest one I wrote. I apologize.
No, it's fine. It's just, I was a late bloomer when it came to football. I didn't start watching until the late 90s.
Great start. We should have stopped.
I tried to throw in the towel.
Hey, you don't lose any points with this one, so you gotta.
We're gonna get the same amount of points on here as we did bonus points for Mason singing "To the Purple Rain."
Are we really not going to get the first one? Because I have nothing.
I have no idea. I can maybe.
This was
name
the
some-
easy question. Why? What is
Facts.
this? Cannot be the easy one.
I think I'm
This
sure they'll
cannot be
get
the
it.
easy one. The answer is not Emmett Smith, so it's not the easy question.
Oh wait, hold on. 5 seasons.
Scott's going to be carrying us this round if we get past.
No,
this question.
never mind. Sorry, that was Amos Airway. I was thinking of. What was I?
Oh boy, that's already been a question multiple times.
Here, I'll give a hint. He was not on a
Miss
TV
Airway.
show on HBO. There may have been a TV show named after him on HBO. How about that? Is that better?
There may have been.
Arliss?
I was thinking his nickname was the
I've
Wire.
never watched HBO. I've never watched
Oh,
HBO. So I, have
God.
no
I
idea.
don't remember a running back with the last name Ballers.
There's a guy named
Entourage.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. On that. Tell you what, that 1992 season for True Blood really was one to remember.
Deadwood.
Shares a first name
Jack
with a
Youngblood's
roided out
son is
baseball
Jack
player.
Trueblood.
David C.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Shares a first name with a Cowboys coach that won a Super Bowl.
We will check in.
I can't think of one this lifetime. Oh,
All right. Snatching victory from the jaws of a tie has checked in. No team name. What do you got?
I don't even think it's clues
Nothing.
help.
running back's name Jimmy and go because he said Cowboys coach. That's all I got.
Won a Super Bowl.
just one. So not Jimmy.
Okay.
They won more than one. Who's that other guy? But it
not
doesn't
Tom.
matter because we're not going to know the last name anyway.
I'm still trying to figure out how this is the easiest one of the four.
Because it's Eric Ead who wrote the game.
There's no way this is
I'm
the easiest.
easy.
There's no
I'm-
way. I'm gonna owe Josh $5 for this guy. I am almost certain because I have no.
I'm guessing you won't owe me $5. But
You think I know this name?
you might
You know this name.
You might know this. Well, Mason, I mean,
I
I
was
he
I was
I
thinking
know-
of it as five seasons on the Steelers. So this is probably because I was like a guy that played just 5 seasons, but now I realize I'm sure he played more than 5 seasons in total. Just 5 on the Steelers. So that doesn't help, but I'm saying
Yeah.
this is probably a name that I will recognize once I hear it.
Unless he just flamed out, like he just did 5 years and he just tore his ACL or got into legal trouble. I don't know. Like
it was the 90s. Well, legal trouble
true.
didn't
Yeah,
keep guys out.
It was the
but
90s.
Knee injuries definitely
right.
caused people
Yeah.
This
to
guy
end
was with
their
OJ,
careers.
and that's what happened. He just
Not John
disappeared.
Carter, so
Um,
no idea. Let's play running back last name. You name one, and then we decide. It's not Rashard Mendenhall. It's not Willie Parker. It's not Jerome Bettis. It's not Amy Zaraway. Not
Further
Najee
back.
Harris.
Oh, please, can we not go through the who
It's
it's
not Cordell
not
Stewart.
list?
How about Davis? That's a running back last name. That sounds 90s.
I can think of a
Terrell
few, yeah.
Davis.
It's his brother.
Sure.
I
Tyrone
don't- I
Davis. Did you go with Davis?
Yeah, I don't. I'm so confused as to how this is the easiest one.
All right.
So, I don't know.
We're gonna check in with Davis.
All right, and over to snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. What'd you get?
It helps that early 90s was I was in high school and college. That
When you were working
kinda
at
helps.
the video place, renting out Free Willy.
Actually, yes. During the same time frame, Mr. Barry Foster was the running back.
Running back last name. Damn, Deshaun Arian.
Scott, you've heard of Barry Foster, right?
I have heard of the name. Yes.
Okay,
I have
Mason, no?
yeah,
Okay.
nope.
fair. Yes, we checked in with Barry Foster.
All right, one team getting their points here. Yes, the correct answer is Barry Foster.
We're gonna let it ride, Eric.
I thought that was the easy one.
We're trying to go for negative points. You're lying. There's no way that's the easiest name you could come up
If
with.
that's
out of
the easiest name,
100
I'm
names.
nervous, but we
I was
might,
gonna say you guys
so
gotta throw in
Wally-
the towel.
Wally,
You might as well go for
I-
it.
we'll,
Nothing to
always,
lose.
we'll at least have some points.
Yeah. I mean,
We'll
Go for it. Go all the way.
We'll let it
There's-
ride. I don't know
Yeah.
if we'll go
All
all
right.
the way to
We're
forward.
letting it ride. I don't care. You said it once. It's happening.
No, we'll let it ride this time.
4 damn questions. We're gonna listen to them all anyway. All right. So they're gonna let it ride, and I apologize to Mason and Scott. Question number
I
2.
don't accept your apology.
Question number 2. This running back is number 7 on the Chargers' all-time rushing list. His best season and only 1,000-yard season came in 1994 when he rushed for just over 1,300 yards.
I guess we don't have to type this one
can
in.
talk
here,
it out.
But,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys just
Yeah,
talk.
y'all are good.
all right. So
We're
if
just here.
there's one name that popped into my head. I'm curious if it's the name that popped into yours too. Natron Means.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it's the only name. The only Chargers running back I can name from that timeline. So I'm good with that. If you're good with that, unless it's LaDainian Tomlinson, who went back in time and rushed for 1,000 yards in 1994 before he started at TCU.
I mean, Marion Butts was around there, but I think he wasn't on the team in 94.
Okay.
But yeah, I like Natron Means, or however he pronounced his name.
Yeah. Nataroni Means. How about just Means? I think Jeopardy.
Just go with
rules for it.
Means?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Means. Yeah. Check it.
All right. Yeah, the only team answering got their points. It is Natron Means.
Eric, this should have
Um,
been the first one. I think that's
Really?
I
Still
think
wouldn't have
that's
got it
a
right.
more known name. I would have got that one.
Sorry. Natron Means. I think he did split time with Marion Butts for a little bit, but yeah. His only 1,000-yard season. It's hard to believe. You thought maybe, but he ended up playing with the Jaguars and the Panthers, and then went away pretty quick. And back to Barry Foster, just so you guys know, he did only play 5 seasons in the NFL.
Oh,
Did he get an
Sure.
injury, or did he
I
just
forget
kind
what
of
it was.
flake
no,
out?
cocaine.
It could. I think. I don't know, but I think there was something else going on with it.
Oh, okay.
But don't hold me to that because I might be wrong. Probably wrong. Anyway, so the question is: are you guys going to let it ride or throw in the towel?
You
At
might as
least
well
one
keep
more,
going.
I think,
Yeah,
right?
sure. What the
All right.
heck?
Let it ride.
Here we go. They're going to let it ride. Question number 3. This running back only lasted 4 years in the league, 3 with the Broncos. He sits at 13 on the Broncos' all-time leading rushing list between Philip Lindsay and Javonte Williams. His best season came in 1990 when he rushed for 1,202 yards. And at the time of this recording, because I'm assuming Javonte Williams probably passed him to today.
No, he had like 0
Actually,
yards.
I was
Today.
gonna
Oh,
say
did
he
he?
might not have.
He had like
might not
0
have
yards
passed
today.
him
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
all
He had
right,
7
then-
runs for 0 yards when I checked, so he might not have
There you
passed
go.
him.
Probably not if he got the 0 yards.
I'll look and see. I don't think he did.
Yeah, he had at one point. I know he had 1 carry for 4 yards. Maybe
He had
maybe
8
got
rushes
back,
for
but-
-2 yards, so he went back.
Oh,
Oh,
he
he had that
actually got
Reggie
further
Bush
away.
stat line.
this guy's doing okay right now. He's like, oh, I'm still sitting at 13.
I didn't know he was that high. Javonte Williams was that high on the list. I
It's
figured
not
even
it's not
lower.
a good list.
Well, when you have a guy that runs for 1,000 and then leaves after a season and you replace him, hard to move up that list.
Is this John Elway?
It's a running back.
Oh, okay. All right.
He only lasted 4 years at running back.
I think he
Yeah,
lasted
exactly.
a little more than 4 years. Or maybe he only played running
Mm.
back for 4 years, right? And then, I don't know.
Yeah.
Early to mid to late. I'm trying to think of where in this 90s-ish time frame this.
All the Broncos running backs I can think of were post this. And Terrell Davis is about where my Broncos running back.
Yeah, it's going to be,
Knowledge
obviously it's
starts.
going to be somebody prior to him. So it's going to be early 90s.
Yeah, I really don't have much for the early 90s Broncos. Broncos being on my radar didn't really happen until they started being in Super Bowls. So
Yeah, I liked them because their jerseys were a real bright orange.
they did have cool
So
jerseys.
I did pay some attention to them. Yeah, Scott, you know what I'm saying.
The
I
Cowboys
do.
never played them, and that's around the time where I was mostly Cowboys focused.
I think they had a running back, Humphrey. I don't know if this is him. He was an early 90s Humphrey. That's all I got. I don't have a first name, but that's the name I have that's coming to mind.
Okay. It's more than what I have, so if you would like to go with that, I'm fine with that.
I feel good enough that he was a Bronco in the early 90s somewhere.
All right.
So
That's more than I had.
we're going to check
This-
in with Humphrey.
All right. Born in Alabama, selected third overall in the first round of the 1989 supplemental draft. And his son's probably a little more famous than he is. His son goes by the name Marlon Humphrey. This is Bobby Humphrey.
Great pull, Josh.
I mean, once again, we're talking high school to early, like college times. For me, that I was paying a lot of attention to sports.
Working at the video store, handing out Mrs. Doubtfire.
Had a lot of downtime when you weren't.
Bobby
Free
Humphrey
Willy.
was more high school for me. That's
Okay.
pre-tidal wave music and video. And
Yeah,
we're not
he
giving away
started
free
his-
plugs because they haven't existed for
Wait,
30
we
years.
can't get a sponsorship?
No. They got bought out by Hollywood Video,
I was a fan of
and
Hollywood.
I don't even know if they exist anymore.
They
Probably not.
They don't.
Sorry, Eric.
That whole chain is just Circuit City. Anyone?
Yeah, Bobby Humphrey was actually replaced by Gaston Green. Anybody know him?
Oh
Is that
yeah.
a better name?
Didn't we
Yeah,
have
no one
$20
fights like
in
him.
this quarter. I set him up to
All right.
$20 in this quarter. The three names and then whatever you just said just now.
Oh boy.
You don't know Gaston?
I almost
Yeah.
used Dalton
I'm
Hilliard.
surprised it was a
Because,
running
didn't we
back.
have
I
a
thought he was
episode title
an
that
anime
was,
character.
About
We did.
Gaston Green.
He's especially good at expectorating.
This round makes me want to do that. Oh, sorry.
All right.
So
So the question is, guys, are you going to let it ride or throw in the towel?
that
Wait,
was
can
a
they
pretty.
close us out?
That was
Can
a
they
pretty
close us out and
deep,
shut us.
I feel like you have to
double us
do
up?
this.
Yeah,
We don't
they can just
have
go for the
to
win
do
right
it.
I
here.
feel, I
Yeah,
feel like
you-
you guys.
Go for the win right here.
There's
Wait, how many points
Yeah.
do they get if they sweep the board? Do they get enough to
We get
lock us out?
we get 200 total if we go for it and get it.
Okay, so they can almost lock us out. That's
See, we
yeah,
can't even lock
Might
them
as well.
out, so I'd say no. He's
Yeah,
going to ask the
yeah.
question.
Josh is like,
anyway.
if we could lock
Yeah.
them out,
They would.
I that was deep for me to pull Humphrey.
and I have nothing there unless he goes to an old cowboy. then
and I
I
don't
might
think
have
he'd
it,
go to an
and-
old cowboy.
Yeah, me
as,
either. So nope.
did
I'm
anyone
good.
run the ball for them in the 90s? Not
I don't
even.
think that they're the only
There are
Emmett
two
Smith.
guys.
running back that finished in the top 10 for the Cowboys in the 90s. There was just one of those guys.
Okay.
No, Moose didn't get enough carries to.
Oh, yeah,
No.
that's true.
All right, so you guys are going to let it ride, huh?
No, we're throwing in the towel.
Oh my
I'll let the towel ride. That's
That
what we're
was-
gonna do.
gosh. Well, for S and giggles, here's question 4. Holding the 9th spot on the Dolphins' all-time rushing leaders list, this running back has never had a 1,000-yard season. He would finish with over 900 yards in 91 and 92, the only 2 times he would ever come close to 1,000 yards in his 8-year career. It did finish in the top 10. I believe it was in 91 or I think it was 91. Anybody?
John Smith.
No, no Smith, right?
No. All right. Well,
John
let's pull the plug.
Foster.
First name's Mark. First name's Mark. Anybody?
Oh, Mark Foster.
Spitz.
Mark Renier. No, it's Mark Higgs. Anybody?
Mark Higgs?
Mm.
Of the Higgs boson
Harry?
fame, yes.
Harry's dad?
Never heard that name.
All
Hey,
right.
Walling, we made
No.
the right choice getting out
We
there.
definitely did.
I mean, we
Look, when
probably
you do
we maybe
the
should have got
2000s version of this,
the one
I'm all
before,
in.
but whew.
Yeah, I wouldn't owe Josh $25.
I'm all in on the 2000s version of this. Give me a
I'm
Ryan
gonna have to take out a
Matthews.
loan to pay Josh for this game.
Give me a Vernon Morency. I'm in, like on the 2000s.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, after the third quarter, we have no team, no name, no points in that round with 255 and snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. They have 435. And that brings us to the fourth quarter.
The fourth quarter, known as Put Your Fours Up. This quarter consists of 4 categorized questions that teams will wager up to 100 points each, not to exceed their current point total.
All right. The categories for today are as follows. Question 1, ink, which will be contracts. Question 2, magic, which is going to be the NBA. Question 3, Wolverine. That will be the NFL. And question number 4, long shot. That will be college football. It is now time for the teams to place their wagers.
We'd like to take a minute to invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at BenchwarmersTP. We also have a Facebook group for fans of the pod called The Bench. Join us there to comment on the latest episodes and share cool sports facts and trivia. If you'd be willing to rate and review us on iTunes or Stitcher, we'd greatly appreciate the support so that other people may find this podcast. Thanks.
Now that the wagers are in, on to the questions. Question number 1, the category ink. In his career, this NBA Hall of Famer earned over $154 million while playing for 4 teams. In 2030, on his 55th birthday, a contract he signed with Reebok will give him access to a $32 million trust, $12 million more than his highest season earnings.
All right. Eid, we'll check in.
All right. Snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. Checked in. No team name. You guys can talk it out.
Okay, so born in 75 means
how many-
drafted mid to late 90s.
Yeah, initially I was thinking Tracy McGrady, but the math, I don't think that works.
4 teams,
He also played for more than 4 teams.
right? And the most this person made is 20 million, but made 154 over career. So probably had
Right.
just one big contract.
I was gonna say this is probably not like but he's a Hall of Famer, so it's
okay.
how about Vince Carter?
Did he have a contract with Reebok?
Also played for more than 4 teams. Damn.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to think if there's some athlete we would specifically associate with Reebok. That's the thing,
right? You did the math. So born in 75, presumably drafted in the mid 90s, played like mid to late 90s into the 2000s. So it's that T-Mac, Vince Carter era. Steve Francis.
I mean,
He's a guy that would have signed one big contract.
he's a Hall of Famer?
He should be.
I don't think he is, though.
Don't they all get into the Hall of
It's a
Fame?
big haul.
You have to play a couple
Tracy
games.
McGrady's there, so yes, everybody does.
Whoa, whoa.
Well, it's not Tracy
Um,
McGrady then.
Yeah, Hall of Famer. That's damn. I don't really know how to go about this.
I just
Steve
Like
Nash. Like I have no idea.
like 4 teams doesn't really do anything for me because I mean this is a person that bounced around the end, like one team and then bounced around.
And
That
if
doesn't
it's someone drafted, a Hall of Famer drafted basically in the mid 90s, right? The 96 draft is stacked, the Kobe
Right.
draft. And then you've got like I don't think this is Chauncey Billups like from the '97 draft. It's obviously not Duncan.
Well, yeah, 4 teams, so that's going to
Paul
eliminate
Pierce,
4
Celtics,
They played 4?
Wizards,
Clippers.
and
Nets.
yeah, he had one more, Nets.
It's 4.
He was drafted in
Oh.
'98, so if he was 22, let's say it was before his birthday, so he's drafted at 22. He was a 4-year guy at Kansas.
At least we know Paul Pierce played for 4 teams, so that gives us a fighting chance here.
Inc. Right? Yeah.
I can only think of 4. It's Celtics, Wizards, Clippers, Nets. I can't think of anybody else because he ended with Clippers.
Yep. I mean, as all the names, that's the one that I like, but that's a super random thing to know about.
Why would we know about
trust
Paul?
fund kicking in? But
yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is more notable than that's something we should have known about. I don't know.
I'm not a Reebok guy, so I don't really follow.
Right. I can't think of anyone around that time specifically associated with Reebok. Like just, oh yeah, Reebok is this guy. I don't think of an athlete.
Right. Yeah, I just wasn't getting Reebok. I'm an Adidas guy, so let's Paul Pierce then.
Yeah, and I'm glad we moved the points around because this is our lowest one. So
yes,
I'm very glad we moved it.
Let's check in with Paul Pierce for 15 points.
Okay, and over to snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. Answer and wager.
There were 3 big Reebok athletes around this time. 2 of them played for way more teams, I think. Sean Kemp and Shaq were Reebok athletes. But what if I told you that his signature shoes were called both the question and the answer? We checked in with Allen Iverson for 76 points.
So one team getting their points here. You can still buy his sneakers on Reebok. They are still making them.
Yep.
And I did learn recently, too, after writing this question, that the $32 million that he is supposed to get on his 55th or 50th birthday, there's probably half of it going to his ex-wife. So, yeah. Anyway, the correct answer is Allen.
He still gets
Allen
16
Iverson.
million.
Oh, darn.
And he is currently getting paid up until his 50th birthday. So another, year? I think he's got another year left. Was he 49 right
Well,
now?
if he turns 55 in 2030, yes, next year he will, because that is the same as me.
Yeah, so he's currently getting $800,000 a year still from Reebok.
I would have thought he made way more money than that.
Yeah, his biggest year I want to say was with salary wise. I think it was with Detroit. I think that's when
that makes sense.
Maybe that has to be more of a factor of when he played than how good he was.
Oh, absolutely.
They didn't. The contracts didn't start really going crazy until like towards the end of his.
Right after, yeah.
Like I think he was still in the league, but he wasn't making the top contracts.
He was with like
he also wasn't the same Allen Iverson at that time. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to question number 2, the category Magic. The Orlando Magic have had back-to-back seasons with a rookie named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team 3 times in their history. The first duo was Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway in 93 and 94. The most recent duo was Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero in 22-23. In 2014 and 2015 seasons, there was another pair, one Hoosier, who appeared on The Masked Singer, and the other is a Raging Cajun, who has played in only one game since 2022, suiting up for the Pelicans on November 11th in 2024. Name both.
We'll check in.
No team names checked in. Snatching victory from the jaws of a tie. Talk it out.
This gives us a chance to talk about that guy who used to host, who's a big Masked Singer fan. Should we phone him?
Oh my God.
He never hosted.
Okay, sorry.
Nope.
His review is still on iTunes.
This was the dude with the weird hair. So Oladipo was the Masked Singer, the guy on Masked Singer.
Great voice.
It was surprisingly good, better than when Antonio Brown was on there. Woo.
That's a low bar.
Yeah. He had real weird hair.
Antonio Brown, yes, he did.
He did, yeah, he did too. Sorry. Peyton, Alfred Payton. That's the other one.
Okay.
Alfred Payton. Super weird hair. Look it up. If you're driving, look it up on your phone right now. You'll see it.
Oh boy.
We'll have someone look it up and then put it in front of your face so you can see it.
I don't think that'll help driving either, even if you didn't, because looking at that hair.
You'll swerve and avoid a crash.
I trust you on this.
Okay. So Oladipo and Peyton for 76 points.
All right, and over to no team name.
Yeah, Scott and I each came up with one name very quickly. Before we were recording, we were talking about trying to come up with a Pelican-themed nickname, and we couldn't come up with anything. So I went just look at stats, and I saw that this guy was on there, and I forgot that he played a game because I haven't really been watching the Pelicans. But yeah, I know for sure Alfred Payton is a raging Cajun. And then Scott sent over Victor Oladipo right away too, so that's what we checked in with for 90 points.
All right, both teams getting their points. Yes, it is Alfred Payton and Victor Oladipo. And my flavor text is I won a fantasy basketball championship the year prior to Alfred Payton's rookie year because I had all the hope in the world for Damian Lillard, and he delivered. So I'm like, next year, I'm like, Alfred Payton is this year's Damian Lillard. And I wasn't right. I was not right. I was not even close to being right. So, yeah.
And go on your freezing cold sports take
right?
tombstone.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, he
One of those
obviously
guys
did,
who shoot.
he did all right as a rookie, right?
Not shooting.
Yeah, it
but
was all right. Yeah, no,
Well,
he could.
no.
He cannot shoot.
Can't
like
shoot.
it's not even. I don't know how you make it in the NBA and not have any shooting ability. But
You
he
got to
did
play
it.
defense and or rebound.
Ben Simmons is still around.
Right? Anyway.
For how
But
much
yeah,
longer?
This was a big money fantasy basketball league. So when the year before we won, it paid for our season tickets to the Bills. And then the following season, I'm like, yes, this is like, trust me on Alfred Payton. Trust me. I was right about Damian Lillard. I hung my
Oh,
hat on
boy.
Damian Lillard. Yeah, it didn't work out.
You didn't win that year, huh?
No. And we retired shortly after.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to question number 3 in the category Wolverine. The single season passing touchdown record for the Michigan Wolverines is 25, which was done by 2 different quarterbacks. Both played for the Chiefs. Both played behind all-time greats, not necessarily with the Chiefs. One retired after the 2022 season, and the other one left the building after the 2001 season. Name both.
I think that's it, Mason.
Yeah, I was writing down stuff, but yes, I agree.
Yep, it's good to check
On
in.
both. Yeah, I'm good with both. Yeah.
We're checked in.
No team names checked in. Victory from the jaws of a tie. Talk it out.
We just wanted to check in before Walling. That was really the
We just made up 2 names, and then he made up 2 names. And I said, yeah, that's fine.
I think one of them was one of people's sexiest humans on accident one time. That's Elvis Gerbeck, who left the building in 2001. And then if I think of a Chief that retired in 2022, that would be Michigan great Chad Henne. So Elvis Gerbeck and Chad Henne, if you're good with those.
I'm good with those.
All right. For 76 points, we'll check those in.
And no team name.
We had the same 2 names, Elvis Gerback and Chad Henne, for 90 points.
And both teams getting their points here. Yep. Gerback he ended up with the Ravens, was supposed to take them all the way and just, didn't work out.
Did he back up Montana? Did he?
Young. He was
Yeah.
young. He was a
Young.
young
Oh,
backup.
young. Okay.
He's the young
So,
backup.
By the way, Walling, when I heard Chiefs, I just stopped thinking. I figured
Yeah, like you got it
like,
covered. Yeah.
like if I had thought about it, I would have had Chad Henne from the 2022, but I just didn't even give any thought because I'm like, oh, Chiefs. This is Walling's.
It was weird. They had him at a Sporting Kansas City playoff game be the hype guy one time, and it's like the least exciting person in the world to try to hype up a crowd. He was just like, hey, let's go. Let's go.
Let's move on to the final question of the game here. Question number 4, category long shot. In 2007, Stanford, coached by Jim Harbaugh, took on USC as a 41-point underdog. Stanford would pull off the second greatest point spread upset in college football history by defeating USC. That Stanford team had 9 players that would go on to play in the NFL. Name 2 of the 9. There are 2 Seattle legends and a Minnesota legend, maybe?
Yeah, I'm good with that. We'll check in.
All right, no team names checked in. Snatching victory from the jaws of Ty. Talk it out for the last time.
Do we have to? I remember where I was while you're thinking about this. I was at a bar in Raymore, Missouri, that was owned by a brother-in-law of the Harbaugh family. So he was very excited about it, but I was also drinking quite a bit that night.
All right. So I'm certain Toby Gerhart is one.
Okay.
I think he's the Minnesota legend.
Question mark?
Was Richard Sherman on this team?
Oh, that would be a Seattle legend. That makes sense. Yeah,
And
that's
he went
right.
to Stanford, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we
I
heard
think
about
this
that
is the
all
right
the time.
time frame for him.
Okay. Yeah, that is. That matches, and I probably was way overthinking it and coming up with John David Booty
That's wrong.
as the USC quarterback. in that
He
game.
also could. You could
Vikings
almost,
legend.
if you wanted to put in
yeah.
Minnesota legend.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh yeah, Minnesota. Yeah. Wrong team.
So yeah, so go with Sherman and Gerhart.
Sure.
All right, we're going to check in with Sherman and Gerhart for 76 points.
And over to no team name.
Dude, if you
Yeah.
add ours with Sherman and Gerhart, you get a real nice law firm. You'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the first thing we came up with Gerhart. We thought the time frame fit, but I came up with I think the other Seattle legend, Doug Baldwin would have been at Stanford. So, and for bonus points, I don't remember his name. And this might be one of the others. I have a recollection of a Browns fullback that went to Stanford, and I don't remember his name. Once you say it, I'm going to recognize it. But I remember this guy was from Stanford. I couldn't pull the name, but for some reason that sticks in my head because he was the fullback for Gerhart, I think. But if that works, but we're going to check in with Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin for 60.
All right. Both teams getting their points here. Yeah, you guys got to it pretty quick. So it's the 3 notable ones are Doug Baldwin, Richard Sherman, and Toby Gerhart. There's a gentleman named Jeremy Stewart, another one named Evan Moore, Ryan Whalen, Jim Dre, Eric Lorig, and I think this is the one Mason was talking about. I'm not going to say his last name correctly. His first name's Owen, and I'm going to say Mercic.
Yeah,
M-A-R-E-C,
something like that. Yeah.
M-A-R-E-C.
Yeah, that's a guy.
So there you go. All right, the game has come to an end, and here are the final scores. Finishing with a solid 480 points, especially when they got 0 points in one of the rounds. No team name, and today's clipboard captain of the game, who will be receiving the coveted. I had Daniel Jones, but I just finished my edit and saw that Scott just used it. So I'm gonna use the other one because he was just leapfrogged by Mr. DeVito, Drew Lock. So we're gonna give the coveted Drew Lock award, who's never gonna be a starter apparently, because they'd rather just throw Tommy DeVito in over.
Well, they
him.
want to lose more games.
Well, I'm like, how do you have him as your backup quarterback all year on the depth chart, and then just
They
paid
him. They gave him like good money for a backup. Drew Lock.
Oh my God! Like, we backup. He was probably ready. I'm like, you guys bench Daniel Jones. I'm getting ready. He's reading the playbook, getting it all.
They called him in the office, and he's like,
"Right,
yes, it's coming. It's coming.
This is it." And they're like, "Oh no, Tommy's going in." I'm like, "Wait, what? He's still here?" Anyway, all right. Well, congratulations, gentlemen. I am sorry, Mason. About the third quarter, I thought those were much more notable names. But anyway,
Nope.
Natron Means was.
Okay. All right. Well,
Sure.
anything anybody
say
wants
so.
to say before we get out of here?
I'm a little
Nope.
surprised that Scott didn't have Barry Foster, but
Again, it's a name I know. I couldn't place him on a team though.
yeah.
It's not like I used Bam Morris. It was Barry Foster.
I would have got Bam Morris.
Bam Morris was, yeah. Yeah.
All right. The 2000s version of that is going to go way better, I promise.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on behalf of Wall and Josh, love that name, Scott and Mason, my name is Eric. thanks for listening to the Benchwarmers podcast, the trivia podcast. And until next time, we'll keep the bench warm.
That ball hit high and deep. Stretch! Get on back there. They look up. You can put it on the board. Yes!
Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
That great music you're listening to is by Justin Nozick. Thanks to him for producing that music for us. You've been listening to the Benchwarmers Trivia Podcast. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We are at Benchwarmers TP.
See, our name works together. Scott Mason or Mason Scott. You get Mason Scott, like a wide receiver from Missouri, or you get Scott Mason, who's someone's dad. Like, either way, though, love that name.
I golfed right next to Drew Lock one day. He has a large head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Should we stop the
face.
recording for that?
No, not yet. I haven't.
Yeah.